Charlie Kirk, Trump ally, shot and killed in Utah. Nationwide manhunt underway. The United States was shaken on September 10, 2025, when Charlie Kirk, the founder of Turning Point USA and a well-known ally of former President Donald Trump, was shot and killed while speaking at an event in Utah. The shooting has triggered a massive nationwide manhunt for the gunman, who remains at large. The shooting. The tragedy unfolded at Utah Valley University UVU, in Orem, a city about 40 miles south of Salt Lake City. Kirk, 31, was in the middle of a stop on his American Comeback Tour, a series of events hosted by Turning Point USA aimed at rallying conservative youth around political and cultural issues. Witnesses said the event began normally, with students gathering under a tent outside the university's Losi Center building. The format included a Prove Me Wrong-style debate table, where Kirk would challenge students on hot-button issues. About 20 minutes into the discussion, just as he posed a question about mass shootings, a gunshot rang out. Kirk collapsed immediately after being struck in the neck. Panic erupted among the crowd of students and supporters. Many screamed and ducked for cover, while others rushed toward him attempting to help. Emergency responders quickly transported Kirk to Timpanogos Regional Hospital, but despite medical efforts he was pronounced dead. Suspect and weapon. Investigators believe the shooter fired from the roof of the Losi Center, roughly 200 yards away from the tent where Kirk was speaking. Authorities described the weapon as a high-powered bolt-action rifle, designed for precision and long-range accuracy. The FBI has released surveillance footage of a person of interest, showing an individual wearing a baseball cap and sunglasses in a stairwell near the suspected firing location. Officials have not confirmed this person as the shooter but are seeking public help to identify them. A reward of up to $100,000 has been offered for information leading to the arrest of the suspect. Confusion after the shooting. In the chaotic hours following the attack, police initially detained two individuals near the campus as possible suspects. However, both were released after investigators determined they were not connected to the shooting. This fueled confusion and frustration among the public, as rumors spread quickly online. Officials later clarified that the gunman remains at large and should be considered armed and extremely dangerous. The manhunt. The search for the shooter has become one of the largest active manhunts in the country. The FBI, ATF, U.S. Marshals, Utah County Sheriff's Office, and Utah Department of Public Safety are all working together. Dozens of federal agents and tactical teams have been deployed in Utah, but law enforcement has also warned that the shooter could have already fled the state. Checkpoints, aerial surveillance, and digital tracking are all being used in the investigation. FBI Director Kash Patel confirmed federal involvement, stating, "This was a deliberate, targeted act of violence. We are working tirelessly with state and local law enforcement to bring the perpetrator to justice." Campus and community impact. Utah Valley University immediately went into lockdown following the shooting. Students were ordered to shelter in place as police searched campus buildings. By evening, the lockdown was lifted, but classes and activities were canceled for several days. The shooting has devastated the Evergreen-like community around Orem and shocked conservative activists nationwide. Many students who attended the event said they were traumatized by witnessing such violence firsthand. Counselors have been dispatched to UVU to support students, faculty, and staff. Who was Charlie Kirk? Charlie Kirk rose to prominence in conservative politics during his late teens. In 2012, at just 18 years old, he founded Turning Point USA, a nonprofit organization focused on mobilizing conservative youth and promoting free market ideas. Over the past decade, Turning Point grew into one of the most influential conservative youth organizations in the U.S., with a strong presence on college campuses. Kirk became a frequent speaker at conservative rallies, a media personality, and a close ally of Donald Trump and his political movement. Kirk's sharp debating style, outspoken defense of conservative values, and combative presence on social media earned him both admiration and criticism. Supporters viewed him as a bold voice for a younger generation of conservatives, while critics often accused him of fueling division. Reactions from leaders. The news of Kirk's death has drawn strong reactions from across the political spectrum. Former President Donald Trump released a statement calling Kirk's killing a despicable act of political violence, and vowed that justice would be served. Trump also praised Kirk as a patriot, a fighter, and a true believer in America. Utah Governor Spencer Cox condemned the shooting, calling it a dark day for our state and our nation. He urged residents to remain calm but vigilant while the manhunt continues. Prominent Democrats, including President Kamala Harris, also condemned the attack, stressing the need to protect free speech and political expression, regardless of ideology. Harris said, "No American should fear for their life when exercising their right to speak and participate in our democracy." What remains unknown. Authorities have not revealed a motive for the shooting. It is unclear whether the attack was politically motivated, personal, or connected to broader extremist activity. The identity of the shooter has not been confirmed, and investigators are combing through surveillance footage, digital evidence, and witness testimony to piece together what happened. There are also lingering questions about security at the event. Some critics argue that Kirk's high-profile presence should have warranted tighter protective measures, especially given the polarization in U.S. politics. National implications. Kirk's death is already fueling renewed debate over political violence, gun control, and security at public events. The incident has drawn comparisons to the 2011 shooting of Congresswoman Gabby Giffords, as well as other high-profile political attacks in recent years. For conservatives, Kirk's killing represents the loss of one of the most prominent young voices in the movement. For others, it highlights the dangerous climate of division and hostility in American politics. Moving forward, as the manhunt continues, evergreen-like communities across Utah and the broader nation remain on edge. Authorities have urged anyone with information to come forward. The $100,000 reward has spurred hundreds of tips, but no arrests have been made yet. Meanwhile, memorials and vigils are being organized by Turning Point USA chapters across the country. Supporters have shared videos of Kirk's speeches online, framing him as a martyr for conservative values. At Utah Valley University, flowers, posters, and American flags have been placed near the site of the shooting. Students gather daily to mourn, pray, and demand answers. The investigation is still developing, but one thing is clear. The killing of Charlie Kirk has left a lasting scar on American politics and raised urgent questions about the safety of public discourse in a deeply divided nation. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.